No, no.
Okay, I'm here. Okay?
No, please. No, no. Stop it.
Well, I said this in my review, and well, whenever I talk about these shows, I try not to make shots at the actors, and I don't want to make this come across as a bashing of the actors video either, but I will say that last night was not the strongest performance by a lot of the cast of Sisters, because, look, it's not uncommon to see, usually when it comes to, bad acting, bad wigs, yada, 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 Tyler Perry is usually the internet's punching bag. And in this case, this definitely wasn't a standout episode of the #1 show on BET. I guess that's putting it nicely. I think that when you watch last night's episode, it bombed in so many ways, because what should have been one of the most tear-jerking, emotional moments of the entire series, it clearly wasn't. A lot of fans agree, like, this scene was supposed to make me feel something and cry, but I couldn't help but laugh at most for most of the entire episode. I mean, the scene at the salon was give or take about 17 minutes or so. I think it was around like the 12-minute mark, like at 12 minutes 30 seconds. That's when Zach first showed up to the salon, and then of course, up until like the 25-minute mark, that's when everybody was about to leave. So yeah, we spent pretty much close to the first half of the episode at the salon. That's not even counting the phone conversations of telling people to come down, and the ride over there when Fatima was driving. But I felt like this scene failed in so many ways. Like, for one, like I said last week, there was no need of Aaron calling Gary to come down. He could have explained over the phone what was going on, which would have taken all but 15 seconds because Aaron still didn't know anything. Look, there was a fire at Karen's salon. The people working the fire said there's a body inside, but there's been no ID. I just want to know, can you call your contacts and figure something out? No need of Gary being there. And also, as the episode went on, this went exactly as I predicted. Each time somebody came up, they'd ask for an explanation. There was no explanation. Rinse and repeat until almost a dozen people were in attendance. You had Preston, Calvin, Maurice, Aaron, Gary, Pam, Zach, Fatima, Danny, Andy. That was 10 people. And then eventually we have Karen showing up with the guy that saved her from the fire. So that's 12 total. First of all, why the hell was Preston there? I mean, even though, we spent way too much time in dragged out scenes especially with Danny on the phone with Fatima and Andy about coming down to the salon. While Calvin does have a reason to be there, because he did say, Sabrina, I got your message. I came as fast as I could. What's going on? At least that's a reason for him to be there. Preston doesn't even have that. But when it comes to Calvin, why the hell would Sabrina even message Calvin if she herself doesn't even know why she's going down to the salon? Maurice being there, well, he was standing right next to Sabrina in her apartment. Sabrina was concerned based off Danny's tone, even though she doesn't know what's going on. So it made sense for Maurice to go for moral support. Okay. But like I said, Preston, he just walked onto the set. It kind of felt like, Trinity was like, oh, hey, what's everybody doing over there? Oh, wow, we doing the scene? Oh, yeah, so what's going on? It just felt so weird and out of place. And when it comes down to the news of Karen's death and everybody acting just so broken down when the medical examiner said the person inside was dead. And I'm like, what makes this scene so awkward is most of the people in attendance don't even know Karen like that. They're just standing around. And I think Calvin was the best example of this. Like, that random ass story about the orange soda. I was laughing my ass off when Sabrina was like, we didn't talk to each other for 3 weeks. You just look at Calvin's face. But my favorite part was right after Sabrina said that, the camera switches over to Andy, and out of nowhere she goes, I was laughing my ass off because it just felt so forced and unreal. I think what really hurt this scene was Tyler or whoever was directing this episode. They could have added some eye drops, gave these actors some eye drops, because try as they might, they could not get any tears to fall. This felt like an episode of Bruh. Now, you know how I can be hard on Bruh for some scenes being dragged out and the emotion just not being there no matter how hard the actors try. I would not be surprised if a lot of scenes from this particular episode are cut and used as examples of bad acting in Tyler Perry products, because I remember leading up to the episode, like, look, I know that they film like 200 something pages of script per day, and it can be intense, especially when things are done in one take. And they film like, they could sometimes be filming from 3 or 4 different episodes in a day. So my thing is this: at being a man and someone who's never worn makeup in my life, I'm pretty sure that it takes a while for the ladies, especially, to get their makeup done. So perhaps, them bawling their eyes out wouldn't really work, because then they would have to go back and get all their makeup redone before another scene. And it was clearly daytime when Tyler filmed this, so it wasn't like, oh, well, they filmed a bunch of other scenes and then they ended their day by, being very, very over emotional. No. And what's even worse was the way that Karen just randomly popped up. I don't know. Like, when I saw the episode live, I was laughing my ass off the way, oh, she's dead. And it's like, what's everybody doing out here? Oh, yeah, it's on now. The salon's on fire. And the way she just casually strolls into the scene, and everybody's like, wait, what, Karen? And it's like, wow, that was completely just off-putting. Look, despite Zach doing too much, DeBow's acting was a standout. Crystal's facial expressions were subtle and basically said everything that we need to know about how she felt about the situation. Pam definitely needed some more eye drops, but I think she gave a convincing performance. But everybody, and Danny was okay, but like Sabrina, it wasn't really believable. And Lord, Andy was just, I can't even express how much that performance made me laugh my ass off. Like, look, KJ has been in a number of other projects and she can emote emotion, but in terms of last night at the salon, it just definitely wasn't there. It wasn't, and I felt so bad because I'm like, look, like I said, Tyler does one takes and everything, but he wasn't the director of last night's episode. He wasn't. Go back to the opening credits. It wasn't him. So, I just felt like this was a scene that, like I said at the beginning of the video, this should have been one of the most emotional and just thought-provoking scenes of the entire series. Like, one of their own is dead. And then it turns out she's not dead. And instead of rejoicing, I'm over here just laughing my ass off because are we supposed to be taking this seriously? Now, I will sort of commend the episode for poking fun at itself, because as soon as the women left and Gary's like, what about us? And Danny's like, what about you? And I'm thinking like, yeah, what about y'all? Like, y'all had no reason to be here. And then the show kind of like, acknowledged the fact that, wow, we just showed up for nothing. Fellas, let's get the hell out of here. So it's just like, not only did the promos for season 6 ruin the mystery of Karen still being alive, but also the fact that the women weren't even given a convincing performance compared to Zach. It's like, that's your best friend. I mean, yes, that was this guy's, toxic lover for 3 years, but this was y'all's friend since college, and just the way y'all acting, I don't feel like this is real. It just felt so forced and not a great example of, Tyler Perry's actors showing their best stuff. And like I said, I really hate to do this because I don't really talk about the acting, but the scene taking up a majority of the episode, combined with damn near everybody on the internet agreeing that it was bad overacting, I feel like I couldn't ignore it. There needed to be more eye drops. I feel like there needed to be some better direction as to how the characters were supposed to react. I mean, like, Andy's reaction when she got the news at the law firm just felt so bad, and then once they got to the actual salon, just like, I've been to funerals, black funerals, because I'm black, and in black churches, I know when somebody's breaking down and when somebody's faking it. And for the love of God, no matter how much Sabrina or Andy tried to make it convincing, not a tear was falling. Andy got one tear when she was walking out of the law firm. That was it. And I'm just like, no, y'all, I ain't buying it. Like, hey, look, they were overselling it, but damn it, I sure as hell won't buying it. It wasn't convincing acting at all. It wasn't. I mean, it's rough. It's just like with Zach, how I can't defend the way he was acting about Karen. Like, how I can't defend that. I can't defend the performance. I know people were like, man, come on, Jeremy. Like, you can't tell me the acting wasn't bad. No, I gotta agree. And the thing is, these actors can act, but in that particular scene, that wasn't it. And I think there was a major ball drop there. Like I said, like 5 times already. This was supposed to be one of the most dramatic and serious moments in Sistas history, yet it is easily one of the most comical scenes. And I think that's a major misuse of tone. So the next time there's supposed to be a quote-unquote death in the series, please give the scene the time and development it needs so the actors can properly react to it, because I do not want to have to make another video like this, because it hurts me to have to pick apart a scene like this, point out the major flaws, and get a good laugh out of it. But it's just sad. It really is. But with that being said, Lord have mercy. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I think we all agree this was just a terribly acted scene. And I guess I'll let Andy close out the video.
Stopping.